Well, it's been just a terrible year for residents of long-term care in this province, and that's been true for their families as well. On the outside, looking in, quite literally, at parents, grandparents, spouses, and other loved ones in those facilities. With us now for a look at some of the struggles they faced and what it's been like to deal with the distance and loss. We welcome, in Thunder Bay, Ontario, Sherry Koch, who spent more than 8 years as an essential family caregiver. In the nation's capital, Julian Morelli, patient and family advisor for the Ottawa Hospital and a member of Ontario's Pandemic Recovery and Planning Working Table. And in Oakville, Ontario, Crystal Nikolic, Family Council Chair at the Post Inn Village Long-Term Care Home. Good to have you three on this program. Sherry, maybe you can start us off here. I want to know more about what it means to be, quote unquote, an essential family caregiver and what that has meant for you over the past year. Start us off there if you would.
Well, I can tell you the first 6 months was very long, 6 months waiting and wondering when we'd ever be able to get back in. So when we were able to last summer hear this word of essential caregiver, it was exciting and thrilling to think we might be able to get back in. And so in our case, we were able to get back in late August of last year, which was 6 months. And it was just so, I can't tell you the feeling of being able to go back in and hug my dad for the first time. It was wonderful.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that moment, going that long a period of time without being able to hug or kiss a family member, particularly a parent, must have been just gruesome. So how did that moment go?
It was a bit odd because, of course, the staff there, they're seeing family members come in for the first time, and it was all a little bit. Everyone was a bit trepidatious, not wanting to get too close to one another. The staff were excited to see us as well, but it was really, really exciting for me to go in. It was very, very emotional, but very good on the same hand that, we were going to be able to go in more regularly and get on a schedule again and see them. Even though, they might not remember us, it was still good for them to have somebody besides the staff have their eyes and ears on them.
Right. Julian, let me bring you in right now. And as I do so, I'm going to ask our director, Sheldon Osmond, to bring up a picture. And I'd like you to tell us who the three people are in that picture.
Well, in the middle is my bonus mom. I call her my bonus mom. That's Mary Lou Kennedy, and my lovely wife, Heather, on the right, I guess. And I think me on the other side. And we were celebrating her 92nd birthday at her my brother-in-law's home, and that was last year. That was last year, 2020 in March, actually.
Now you call her your bonus mom, but she's your mother-in-law, right?
Yeah, I call her my bonus mom. I call her my second mom. I like the term bonus mom. I have a bonus daughter too, so I call her. She's really that special to me.
And what was important about that moment that you got on camera there?
Well, it was her birthday, and we were celebrating. We were just about to leave, and I don't know. It was just a shot that happened, and we had had a great evening. It was just before the pandemic happened. It was just before the lockdown came into effect, of maybe a day or two, and we had brought Mary Lou over and celebrated her birthday together with her family, and everybody was there, and we had a great time. And she was fluent. Lovely, fun. I did a bunch of video as well.
Great. Yeah. Crystal, tell us the significance of the past year for you in terms of this story we're covering tonight.
Well, yeah, this story tonight has a huge significance for me because my mother's on a secure unit, and during the pandemic, a secure unit is where you lock up the people that are shoppers or walkers. It's a small prison in long-term care, basically. I know people don't like us to use those words, but what I watched happen to my mother on the secure unit over years, and what we watched through the pandemic, was deterioration. And it was horrible to stand outside there in the window. I could stand outside and see my mother inside, and I could see the deterioration of the other residents. So it was very, very, very difficult. And for me, the pandemic has been about advocating for the rights of family caregivers and all the other residents in the home, because we have 238 residents in our home, 4 floors. What I could see on the small little 17-person secure unit, we knew was happening throughout the home. So it was very tragic for me. And
We'll explore
what
those
else?
issues more that you've just raised there. But I do want, Sheldon, I'm going to ask you the same thing here. Got a couple of pictures to bring up. And again,
Yeah.
maybe Crystal, take us through these 2 pictures. Who are we looking at?
We're looking at my mom, 6 feet across at a table when visiting first started. So you can't touch her, you can't hold her, you can't walk with her. You see, it's a fairly nice day outside. This is about June, I think, during when we first were able to have outdoor visits. This is my mom on FaceTime. So she has dementia. She doesn't understand FaceTime. Actually, there were some funny shots of I'd be trying to talk to her and she'd think FaceTime was a mirror. You know, I mean, with dementia, they don't understand these different types of ways that we were visiting with them, so to speak, or providing emotional connection. I don't like the word visit because we provide a lot more as family caregivers.
Right. So given her dementia and given this technology that you say she didn't understand, could you make a connection with her under those circumstances?
Not really. I mean, I would wave at the window and stuff. Now, I have a phone in my mom's room, so I implemented phoning her every morning and having my brother speak to her every evening. Anything we could do so she could hear our voices. My brother lives down in the States, so, you know, he couldn't come up to help or anything. So it was pretty tragic.
Well, we have heard estimates that the amount of money or the value to the economy, let's put it that way, of caregiving can amount to $25 billion a year in Canada. In other words, all of the work that you all did out of the goodness of your heart, if you add it all up across the country to all the people like you who are doing essential caregiving work, if you had to pay for it, it would amount to $25 billion a year. Let's get a better sense, and Sherry, maybe you could start us off here. How many hours a week do you think you spent caregiving in your circumstances?
Well, for myself, I was probably there 3 to 4 times a week for hours. But in our situation, I'm the only family member in Thunder Bay. So we also hired extra staff to go in, and we also were lucky to have some family friends. So there was somebody with my parents every single day leading up to like before the pandemic. And I can tell you that as essential family caregivers, we know things about our family that even PSWs that are there every day don't know. So, you know, a grimace on a face, or the fact that they're not quite eating, or they're scratching some area of their body, or whatever it might be, we know them better than any staff member does. So we can pick up on things that staff don't pick up on.
Julian, how about you? How many hours a week would you say you and your wife attended to your, as you like to call her, bonus mom?
Yeah. Well, at minimum, Steve, it was 50 hours a week. I call it direct care. I call it essential care, and it's way beyond visiting. It's way beyond we're just hugging. Actually, the term essential family caregivers, you know, I started using a couple of years ago, actually, way back, and I'm glad it's catching on because families are essential. But we were spending minimum of 50 hours a week. My wife, for instance, would spot an infection. I learned more as I kept going, and I could spot that something was wrong, and I would say, well, we should get her tested for a UTI. Those infections are deadly if not treated properly, and I would say quite candidly, my wife alone has saved her mom's life.
Julian, 50 hours a week is more than a full-time job. Did it feel like that?
Well, yeah, but I called it a labor of love, honestly, and I don't say that just to come up with a nice tagline. It's probably it's not. It is the hardest job I ever had, but the most satisfying and actually a privilege. But add on to that, Steve, that didn't take into account the interactions we had with government, with the institution, with doctors. So you can easily add another 10 hours. And going back to your comment that of 25 billion, that 25 billion is an absolute minimum figure. There's credible numbers that bring it up to 60 billion. And it brings it up there because in the sense of care, if we prevent my mother-in-law from going into a hospital, how much money do we save?
Right.
And we have done that. And that's just the start of it. And so I'm going to preface it by saying we're more than visitors, and actually caregivers are experts who come from every walk of life. Doctors, lawyers, architects, you name them, they're in the business of caregiving.
Crystal, how about you? An estimate at how many hours you've spent?
I spend a ridiculous amount of hours. I'd say I work at 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. And that's not just with my mother, that's the advocacy work I'm trying to do to help family caregivers speak up wherever we can, whether it's in research forums, at Family Council, virtual forums. Family Council Ontario has many, many, many different areas that people can go, talking to experts, not just ourselves, the other family caregivers. We are the experts, but talking to the people who are leading policy and leading changes and making sure that our voices are at the table. I think that's the most important thing, that the voice of family caregivers are now part of policy, planning, procedures, implementation, programming. We have to be there. We're the consumers. We pay the bill. Our family members, I mean, my mom, paid her taxes all her life. I pay her for $2,700 a month for her care in a home. That's what the Ontario government for a private room charges. So we spend a lot of time, money, and So we deserve a little bit better than just sitting around and being left out all the time.
I hear you. Sherry, I alluded to the fact earlier in our conversation that this is the first anniversary of the state of emergency being imposed. It's also a sad first anniversary for you this week as well. Want to tell us about that?
Yeah. My mom passed away on March 20th of 2020. And, it was no surprise to me that when we were shut out of the home on the 13th of March, that the very next day my mom stopped eating. As I mentioned earlier, we were in the home every day, somebody was, and we were able to, she was at late stage dementia and definitely wasn't eating as often anymore. But the people that knew her well knew to stroke her hand, touch her face to get her to eat. And as soon as we were shut out of the home, the care staff just don't have the hours that we did to spend with her. And so it was no surprise that she stopped eating a couple of days after we were shut out, and of course, passed away a few days later, so on March 20th.
And we just saw a picture of your parents, and I gather you were also caregiver to your dad at this time as well?
Yes, my parents lived across the hall from one another, finally, for the last 3 years in our long-term care home. And, my dad actually contracted COVID-19 in that home and passed away on December 9th. So we've had a lot of loss this year, our family.
My goodness. Sherry, how have you coped with it all?
It's been a challenge through COVID, obviously. Funerals aren't the same, gatherings aren't the same. Luckily, I have a great family, wonderful husband, 3 great kids, and lots of wonderful, wonderful friends. And so, we've coped with it that way. But it definitely has, 2020 will always be a memorable year for not great reasons, obviously. For sure, COVID, but the loss of actually 3 parents. We also lost my mother-in-law in July. So it has been a very challenging year for our family.
I was just going to say, I heard your mother-in-law had a stroke as well, and she passed away from that too. So my goodness, You've had enough of 2020, that's for sure, eh?
Yeah, it definitely was. We definitely celebrated on January 1st, that's for sure. My mother-in-law was a different case too. In the hospital, 1 month full, on her own, we couldn't go in, and she had a stroke. So it's definitely COVID has added layers to grieving. It's added layers to caring for. It's certainly been challenging. Yes.
I want to take you back to a happier date. This is almost a quarter of a century ago. Sheldon, you want to bring this picture up, please?
Oh, goodness.
And why don't you tell us, Sherry, who's in this picture? That's a beautiful shot. That's just a beautiful shot.
Oh, well, thank you for sharing that one. I just shared a few pictures with you. That's my wedding day, and that was my dad. And he had a great sense of humor, and he was definitely making me laugh as we entered the church. Yeah.
And then we're going to do fast forward to November of 2020, and
That
Time.
is the day we had a really tough weekend the weekend before. Our long-term care home did not handle their outbreak well at all. And so we had come off a horrible weekend. My dad had tested negative so far. And this was November the 23rd, that picture. And I had gone home after spending time with him that day and was called that evening to let me know that my dad had COVID-19. So he had tested positive. So I was shut out of the home for 2 weeks because, of course, I had been in close contact and I had to quarantine myself in my room for 2 weeks, not able to go back in and see him. So that is a memory of a last time that I was able to care for him when he was well.
were you able, I mean, you had 3 parents, if you like, that you were mourning. Were you able to have any funerals?
My mother-in-law, we had some eased restrictions by July, and I think we were allowed to have 40 people in a church. So we were able to have a funeral for her. But for my mom, it was very early in the pandemic. We were only allowed to have 5 people in a funeral home, and my immediate family is 5. So we wouldn't have even been able to have a minister. My brother lives in Ottawa. So, and then my dad was in December, and in Thunder Bay, our numbers were going quite high in December. So for both parents, we did actually a YouTube tribute to them that I was totally against, but we were able to have almost 500 people watch both YouTube videos. Wonderful tribute to both parents, people being able to watch it from all over Canada and United States, friends of theirs that wouldn't have been able to come otherwise. So it ended up being wonderful, but it definitely was, can you imagine having a YouTube funeral? I mean, it just really wasn't what we had ever envisioned for them. So, and still not being able to gather and be with people to this day, to honor our parents.
Sherry, thanks for sharing those pictures and those memories with us. We're really grateful for that. I know it's been a miserable year for you.
Thank you.
Julian, I want you to pick up the story, if you would, and that is, I mean, we have you 3 on tonight. The fact of the matter is, there are thousands of people across the province of Ontario who could tell similar stories to what we're hearing from you 3 tonight. Lots of people are going through this. Can you describe for us what you think the emotional toll all this takes on caregivers across the province?
Well, it's 24/7. It's horrendous. I mean, the emotional toll it takes on just a relationship with your family, and it starts there, and there's different thoughts about how things should be done, and it's like all consuming. It literally takes over your life, and as you said, Steve, it really we're just one. I mean, this is happening to thousands and thousands and thousands of people. This is not 1,000 people. It's thousands, and it's consuming PTSD. I think I said in my testimony to the commission that I think it's probable that we have it. Wake up. My wife has issues now with her teeth, great teeth. She's been chewing them. I wake up at 3 a.m. every morning. I have vivid dreams, and then which I never had before in my life. I've never done that, and it is horrendous because it's 24/7, which means in your sleep, it's happening as you're thinking about what's tomorrow, what about the doctor, how is she being treated? We're not there, and as Sherry said, when I'm listening to her, I mean, I just was thinking, holy, like it's a world that only caregivers right now know. They really understand it. They don't even have to talk about it. And yet people, like our families included, and others, I don't blame them. They don't, how much can you talk about this stuff? They don't want to hear it after a while. And I don't blame them. I don't want to be talking about it. In fact, I've gotten closer to caregivers because they get it. And that's not a slight on anybody, but people want to go out and barbecue. I get that. So do I. But I can't go to a function and say, or something right now and say, oh, I'm just looking forward to the summertime. That's not in my headspace. And to pick up again on Sherry, like 3 immediate family members, I don't know what to say. I mean, other than I take a second just to memorialize your family and you and the strength you have. That's what I can say, and that's the strength of caregivers.
Crystal, how do you get away from it? I mean, every caregiver needs a mental health break at some point. How do you do that?
I think that's very difficult to do. One of the things that I try to do is a little bit of exercise. I think I passed the point where personal care happens anymore for me, and getting a break happens anymore for me. One thing we do have is a writer's workshop that we do once a week where we talk about our issues. That helps a lot. I can't get away from it. I can't.
You live it 24/7.
Yeah, I live it 24/7, like the other people are saying. I think the long-term damage it will do on caregivers will be that will be coming in the future. I think there will be physical and mental deterioration of us. I think that's happening now at this point.
Well, let me follow up with Julian on that, because Julian, in your last answer, you did point out that you made a submission to the Long-Term Care Commission that the Ontario government has struck, and which is supposed to report in fairly short order, I think sometime in the next 6 weeks or so. Did you actually get to make the presentation, or did you just give them a document, and how did that go?
No, I made the presentation, and for caregivers it was a bit different. They did it anonymously, so I would have preferred that it was out there. But caregivers, many of them, were afraid of retaliation, and that's not an if, that's a fact. And so the commissioners themselves made our testimony. We did it online.
Retaliation from whom?
Anonymous. And pardon me?
Retaliation from whom?
Well, I mean, if you're in the press and you said something that somebody would perceive negative, it could be from the home. It could be from someone. We had to be very careful. We knew that this wasn't the home's fault. For the most part, our home. They were trying, they were working, but there was times that we had to talk about specific care issues. So we had to be very careful. And people that went in the press, it's well known within the care thing is be careful what you say. And so for the commission to make caregivers anonymous says it all. And yet I chose my testimony, I'm going to release it because I think it's important that people know that the reality is in the business that of healthcare and a democracy that we should be able to talk. Nobody's trying to become political. I'm not. I mean, that was my business before. But the dignity of our parents and your parents and everyone's parents, your sisters, your brothers, is at stake. It's a Canada health system. We have a democracy. And the fact that we had to, the commissioners felt it was in the best interest of caregivers to make it anonymous, and if they chose to put it out there, fine. This speaks to a lot of issues, speaks to a lot of discrepancies and errors, and I'll just call it flagrant denial that this stuff was occurring. So it needs to be out front.
Well, let's get some more on the record here. Sherry, if you had a chance to make a submission to the Long-Term Care Task Force or speak directly to Marilee Fullerton, the Minister of Long-Term Care, What would you tell her needs to be done?
Well, it's so funny that you say that, because prior to the pandemic, I had gone on a personal crusade to write to her. I was writing her personal invitations, pretty colored envelopes, inviting her for lunch to come to Thunder Bay to have lunch with my parents and I, so they could actually, she could actually see the staff ratios that just don't make sense. And actually, I finally got a response from her in January of 2020, but we know what happened after that. So I've never actually been able to speak to her. But we need a comprehensive staffing strategy. The unregulated workforce, the PSWs, they need to have more attractive jobs. They need to have full-time jobs. They need to be paid better. And when we also need more registered staff. But the staff ratios also are ridiculous. And we have to start really looking at that. And we have to start making it regulated, government regulations of staff ratios that cannot be interpreted at the home level. They actually have to be followed. My dad's floor was 1 to 22. So one staff, to 11 residents. And they needed to have 2 people working in tandem, because these are adults that are 200 pounds, 130 pounds, whatever, that might be combative. So they needed to have 2 people in a room with each resident. So when the 2 staff people are in one room, there's nobody on the floor watching anybody else. So the ratios are ridiculous. And these poor frontline workers who work so hard are really being thrown to the wolves right now. And we need to change things for them. We need to make their work life more attractive. So the 2 things that I would say to her, if she would love to come for lunch with me, is a comprehensive staffing strategy and better staff ratios that make more sense.
If you ever do get to take her out to lunch, will you let us know so we can eavesdrop?
Oh, I would love for her to come to lunch. I don't have parents anymore to have lunch with, unfortunately, because of what happened this year, but I would certainly love for her to come and actually see with a family caregiver, not just go into a long-term care home, because of course they're going to be on their best behavior when Dr. Marilee Fullerton walks in. I wanted her to come to lunch with me so I could show her what the real staff ratios are and how ridiculous they are for anyone to try and manage.
Well, Sherry, Julian, and Crystal, we are really supremely grateful that the 3 of you opened up so much and were so candid about what the past year has been like for you and your families. And we're grateful that you spent so much time with us here on TVO tonight. I hope 2021 is just way better for all of you and yours. Thank you so much.
I agree. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The Agenda with Steve Paikin is brought to you by the Chartered Professional Accountants of Ontario. CPA Ontario is a regulator, an educator, a thought leader, and an advocate. We protect the public. We advance our profession. We guide our CPAs. We are CPA Ontario. And by viewers like you. Thank you.